No time for an intro today. We got a game to play. Here we go. You guys are moving away from the time shards that have broken out through the Doomridge and are flying haphazardly, some as slow as a snail and some with meteoric speed. The group heads away from that area. As you all roll over the large hills of the Doomridge, you're able to look out from the top and see fairly far into the distance on the largest hills. As you begin to move through them, you are going to pass into an area of much smaller mushrooms, where the ground almost seems tilled. It is soft to the step, but not quite sand. Almost like loam. And as you step upon it, Bali's going to kind of balk, looking down. What's up with the ground? She says as she reaches down and sort of picks it up, and it breaks apart easily and sticks to her hand like a mulch.
What's up with this area? Do I know?
Where's the druids in the party?
You do not know.
So
This appears to be some kind of natural phenomenon. Maybe an animal.
Not fate.
I have no idea.
Zarafen also is going to kind of like... Those of you who are among the group can make a nature check.
I will try.
Do we need to be trained?
You do not need to be trained.
Yuffie's totally tapped out. No.
I'm a city slicker. I don't know anything about this stuff.
What kind of burrowers? Zarafen muses.
16.
You also believe that maybe some kind of, maybe giant worms or,
Not
like
purple worms,
large moles, maybe, or some,
we know about the antlions in the area, right?
the antlions were back that way, and the
Okay.
antlions don't form this kind of ground pattern. This is like, something is throwing dirt around.
She nods. Yeah, something underground, probably?
The soil seems fertile, but nothing's growing.
Can I have...
Weirdly sticky?
Orega is going to step on it, and as he does, he sinks down about a foot into the soil. And then, like, he leaves these giant, deep footprints that capture every intricate bit of his soul.
Is it nice and compressed where he steps?
Yes.
I will follow his steps.
So you, like, hop from one foot to the other. And walking on his footsteps, the impacted ground is significantly easier to walk upon. But honestly, the rest of the loam isn't very difficult either. Just kick up a little bit whenever you step. You all look to the south, and you can't see any like really big buildings, but you see a ton of ruins. Some of them have clearly fallen over, potentially because of the loose ground. Are you all taking any precautions?
The Bronze Scout is going to use its tremor sense to see if there's anything within its range that would cause alarm.
Your wisdom immediately pays off. Do you have inspiration?
Yes. Yes, yes.
As you look, as the Bronze Scout, you see through its senses. You immediately see maybe 12 to 20 feet below the ground. There are innumerable large creatures. They appear to be chaos beasts.
I think they're edible.
Roll the chaos out.
Each one of these creatures appears to be something of a combination of naked mole rat, cat, locust, and badger.
Oh god, the badger in there. Badger and a locust.
The creatures
That
are
sounds
curled up into a fetal-like position, deep below the ground, and they are kind of huddled together in nests of up to 20 individuals.
Oh god.
They're probably within the radius of like just a dig around,
How
like
big are they?
400 of them.
Oh god, how big are they?
They are the size of, like they're like double Nancy's size.
That's horrifying.
Everything Daniel said, Isaac says.
Yeah. A look
See
of
the Bronze Scout
distaste.
kind of like poke its head out from the loam and then come out because Isaac doesn't want it to be.
Definite look of distaste that crosses June's face with those.
Zarfen is going to look back at the rays of the dying sun, the shadow creeping near you. The shards in the air lend another weight of complexity to this equation. As he looks a potential way around, but both horizons you can see the ground basically shift in a varying line all the way to the edge. I don't know if we have time to go around before night falls, Zarfen says. We're sort of chasing the sun here. Or being chased by it, I should say.
If we haven't woken them up yet, with our new friend here lumbering about, maybe they will find.
He might scare him off, honestly.
Or they might think he's delicious.
No doubt these things can sense something very large
Yeah,
up here
yeah.
walking around.
We probably sound like he's ridiculous.
And if they live in the Doomridge, then they know better than to poke their head out. Doom. I will get it right eventually.
Just sing
When
the
we
song in
leave.
your head.
Yeah,
It's
when
okay.
we leave.
I think that we should go ahead. Just keep our eyes open.
I don't see any adamant disagreement among the party. The group, as it is, walks swiftly upon the loam and continues your journey. When the day, an hour or so passes, and you begin to see the edge of the tip of the spikes of the great mountains, their shadows chase you. You are also going to note that within the darkness that follows that shadow, the creatures beneath begin to stir. You are realize that when the shadow passes over you, these creatures may begin to emerge, and depending on how aggressive they are, may begin to swarm. You have basically the choice to try to outrun the darkness before you can get off this land, before they awaken.
I think we should try.
Yeah.
All right. You are making a group athletics check.
How many people can the giant hold?
I would like to be on Clover so that I don't have to make this check.
Okay. The DC is 17.
Because I think it would be very wise if I do not make this check. So,
As you all begin to rush, moving as swiftly as possible, the giant says, I could pick up several folk.
probably wise.
How many?
Well, if the fair folk wish it, I can pick up many. He says, and the small one, the blue. He points at Hero.
How fast is Shadow?
She's pretty fast.
Yeah, Shadow's super fast.
I mean, Shadow can fly, but she
Well,
can't
not with
fly with
you.
anybody on. Shadow's just as fast as I am.
Okay. How fast are you?
30.
In flight, she's 60 though.
But she can't fly
In
with him. all
flight,
the
she's
time.
80.
Oh, in flight, she's 80 feet.
Could she only fly with him? Was it when we went through the time thing?
Yeah.
Okay. For some reason I
Because
thought
she
she
was
could.
aged
Yeah.
forward.
Yeah. Okay. I get this now.
I'll stay with the cart, with my constructs. Everyone else try and find some other form of transportation.
So,
Can I cast Fly on a cart?
did you raise the boar to bring the cart? Because the boar are dead.
Oh, yeah.
The boar beetles? When did they die?
They died when the blast radius, the ghosts came out.
Oh,
I would assume he probably did, right?
probably.
Okay, so
Is it
then
chaos?
you can't have Phalor active. You have 2 each for each boar.
Yeah.
So
Phalors.
Bronze Scout, so that's 4, 5, 6 right now. Yeah, you have 7 available.
Mhm.
Okay, so you have what constructs active?
Right now, just the beetles, which constitutes
And the Bronze Scout.
Well, I'll deactivate the Bronze Scout after we've...
Okay.
Hit that
Who
scout.
is lumbering? Who's carrying
Who's
the
second level?
the medium construct, the face vibrator guy?
I assume they run the cart.
Okay, they're in the cart.
Yeah.
Got it. All right, so even more disgusting beetles. All right.
My idea is that everyone else... If I get swarmed, I anti-life shell myself in the cart and keep going, and they won't be able to get to me, and then everyone else finds some other way of staying safe.
Wow.
Be smart.
All right. So, athletics check. Let's begin. Orega, he has a plus 12, I think, strength.
If we're riding on him, do we have to make that
No,
check?
you do not.
Oh, thank God.
Could I take somebody else with me on Clover?
We have to...
If
No.
they're small?
Oh, if they're a small person.
So
Oh,
why don't I
there's my
take one of the small
inspiration
ones and
for
Orega
no
can take a
reason.
bigger
I think you
person?
succeed.
What?
Succeeded both.
If I take one, like either like hero on with me, like he could probably take another person, right?
Yeah, he could probably carry a medium person.
Okay.
We have Hero, Prongor, Pirate Crew.
I'll take hero
Potentially-
with me.
Dom would probably be the smartest for him to
Dom
carry,
needs-
because
yeah.
Dom is old man right now.
Yes.
Shadow
Um,
could probably carry a light person and fly, couldn't she?
Yeah, she could maybe carry Hero
I've got hero.
or
Sure.
Bali. But you don't get. I mean, you're kind of switching people around in a way that doesn't benefit you at the moment, because that's all the short people already have.
Mhm.
You know, people who are carrying them or whatever. But I
Well,
guess
yeah.
Shadow's faster than
I would let Shadow just fly with somebody lesser, and I would just run.
lesser people.
Somebody knows.
Someone
that.
lesser.
All right, so
We
at the
know
moment, Bali, Euphemia, Hero,
Literally
and
lesser
Juniper
people.
don't have to make the check.
Good, because I have a -2 to that check.
Okay.
Wow.
Really?
There's a reason I try really hard to avoid physical checks.
Wow.
Really hard.
7.
Okay, I think that is all of the small characters that need the help.
Oh, Walks can
Oh,
totally be
is,
mine.
is red okay?
I was like, wait, Walks is faster.
Red-
than
Red
remember
can
that-
run.
That is,
Okay.
yeah.
Um,
I
actually forgot about
I
So
did
sick.
occasionally.
I only remembered him because I looked at him.
he's been walking behind the group. All right, so let's go ahead and
Did
get
he
started.
ever get hit with aging? Oh god, that'd be horrible! He got hit by like the killer aging and he's like behind us.
And we all just...
And we
dead.
have no knowledge. Oh god.
All right, so let's
that.
start.
Dark?
Don't look
Hero
at
doesn't need to roll. I'll roll for the giant. He has a plus 14 strength, so he makes this on a 3.
Red, stay in front of somebody.
Oh god, he rolled a 2.
No.
What?
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
Did he like, step in a place that has a freaking hive or something? And his foot went through. Just shut up.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. He's going to use a legendary action to use Gust of Wind on himself. So as he's actually going to like begin to run and like takes these huge lumbering steps, and then his foot is just going to like slam right through the ground up to his knee, and he's going to like it looks like he might lean over and literally snap his leg. But as he does he's going to like go like that, and this huge gust of wind is going to roar from behind him with his storm giant abilities, and potentially could save him. Okay. Yes, it is going to like rip him out of the ground and lets him re-roll with a 17. So he rolls a 36. Oh, sorry, 31. But yeah, he is going to bolt ahead once he does that. So he will succeed. Roland,
27.
27. Jesus. All right, so you're kicking ass on this check.
I've got a
right now.
9. I rolled an
Shadow. Shadow gains advantage because she's able to fly.
Is it? Do I do acrobatics for her
No.
or strength?
Athletics. It's athletics or strength.
Okay.
If she has athletics training, then use that. But otherwise, use her strength score.
Okay. I don't think she has an athletics thing.
Yeah.
She got a 15.
Okay, she fails.
Even with being able to fly?
Yes.
How?
So she goes to try to take off, and you are going to see her begin to fly, and then these powerful... she's actually going to go through one of the shards as she gets up, and she is going to, like...
De-age.
One side of her body ages significantly. So, like, her left wing is, like, way too large. And she's going to, like, fall back to the ground and, like, have to drag it behind her.
Oh
Well, my 27 is pointless thing because I'm going back for
Okay.
Hell yeah.
Well, if the whole group makes it, then you guys escape.
her. Okay.
If the group makes it, you win.
Okay.
So, currently 2 have made, 1 have failed.
Okay.
Isaac, each one of your boars are the ones who roll.
Okay.
They have a +4 mod each.
I have a backup plan if they fail.
Actually, let me look up giant boar real quick and make sure I'm correct.
You know, my group is
Uh,
the only group that
plus-
doesn't care about the
plus
ground
5.
or about the aging things. I mean, it
18?
sucks for Hero.
18 succeeds
but, I
for
mean,
sure.
It won't slow us down.
19.
19. All right, that's
I mean, think about
1,
it.
2,
We already know how
3,
to
4
handle this.
successes
Somebody's
to
just
1
dead
failure.
by it, too, so.
All right, Clover. Clover gets to roll with advantage.
Okay.
Um,
what exactly is going to slow him down? He doesn't touch the ground. And, again, you have 2 immortal beings, basically, on the back of him.
Well, right now you're in a pretty chaotic situation, so plenty of things could occur.
Alright. I don't have a card for him, so...
His bonus is +6 because he's very fast. Gabers, stop.
19.
Okay, he succeeds. And Zarathan.
Oh, dear.
So that's
Is he flying?
1, 2.
He can't fly anymore, right?
I don't know, can he? No, he lost his wings, you're right.
Oh, actually, you know what? That's over half. You guys just succeeded with Clover. So,
It was
the
fine.
party, as it is, will, as the crests of the hills chase you, you all will flee from the area. The giant is going to sort of like grab Shadow and like
Throw her.
hold her up for a moment until the problem passes, and then sort of like a paper airplane, just kind of launch her into the sky. You all feel maybe it's Orega, maybe it's Clover, but the wind seems to be at your back. And you all see the creatures burst from the ground, howling in anger. As you race, the giant's great footsteps striding away from the creeping fingers of the mountains, you all will suddenly pass out of the darkened, loam-like soil. At first, you weren't sure that it had come to an end, but now you're going to see a big hill of green grass on one side of the hill that you're headed down. And the ground, it seems, becomes much tougher, as if you passed out of a territory. Although you can still hear the creature's thrashing screams, Zarafan is going to catch his breath for a moment and then say, "Maybe it's some kind of mating thing," he says.
Well, we can
Red.
study them later.
Is going to startle a couple of party members when he comes up and says, "I don't remember that being here last time."
I don't remember that being there either.
You all are now looking at, as darkness finally overtakes you with no ability to outrun it, you all see several small winking lights in a couple of the broken castles and fortresses that surround you in this area. It looks like this is a flatter region that many people choose to build their buildings upon. And you see potentially sheltering ruins, but also potentially treasure-filled fortresses. Orega's going to look ahead and say, I didn't get quite this far. Red is going to point towards a particularly defensible position. We could hunker down there for the night, or we could try one of these places that doesn't have any lights on it.
Wherever we can get some rest, she says.
Although we are rather close to that border, those creatures could pour over. The walls of a fortress might offer us some respite, Zarafan says.
Have the shards thinned out at all?
Yuffie, give me a perception check.
Well, he hasn't.
As you kind of...
She's got them.
As you look around, you're going to witness that the shards have indeed thinned out significantly. You do see a large cluster behind you of many thousands. But as far as ones that have made it all the way out here, it might be past morning by the time they come.
Okay.
She had asked if you could keep an eye on any more bouncing ones. Did you happen to notice any?
You have seen a couple that have ricocheted off of...
A boundary almost?
It seems almost like... It seems to have a curve to it. A bit like a large, a huge, massive cylinder.
So not like it's just a boundary that's keeping them in.
Well, like a boundary, but like the boundary is a cylinder. Like you put a jar on.
I get it. Took me a minute there. Got it. She would convey that information to June.
June looks like she would really like to investigate, but clearly not the time or place.
I don't know.
You are only a couple of miles, like in the center of those fortresses, to the drawing power.
The power that you were feeling?
That's the one I'm speaking of.
A couple of miles, so like 2 miles only.
Yeah, like 3 miles.
That's not a couple. That's several. But anyway, what? I'm sorry, that was very specific. My bad. But it's in the direction we want to go.
It is, yes.
Clover moves fast.
June, well, she wouldn't go by herself at this point. So that would be a very poor idea in this. Although we could just be invisible.
Prongor is going to look over towards Isaac. He hasn't spoken much all day. Dom, on your flight out of the area, did de-age. He is back to his normal self now. Prongor is going to look at the castles rather greedily, and he's going to turn towards Isaac. Master Isaac, there were many powerful wizards and other warlords who possessed some manners of interesting artifacts that may remain within these fortresses. This might be worth our time, if it doesn't take too long, to glance inside and see what interesting things await. Especially if they're resting for the night.
That I said. I was going to do it if it was 5 or under. I rolled a 2.
So he's implying that we would go during the night to check one of these out.
He's implying that if you have any time, it might be worth that time.
Yeah. How far away is the closest of these just random fortresses?
You probably walk there in 10 minutes.
Oh, God, after everything that's happened.
June is going to actually speak up in the group. She goes, perhaps 3 miles in that direction. Just perhaps 3 miles in that direction. Since it is on the way, I would like to go there.
What's there?
I don't know,
Zarafan asks.
but I feel it drawing me.
Like a good draw, she asks.
It is neither good nor bad. But it's connected to something that is integrally me. She doesn't
I hate
go
to put a damper on your desire, love.
Does he say
No,
that?
he doesn't say that. You're damper on your desire, but you can't see the shards.
I don't really care about the shards.
I guess that's fair enough.
Is he looking at me like that? Yeah, creeper.
He's like, okay.
Well, if you're going to go, Bali says, then you best go.
She looks down at Hero and she goes, Hero, perhaps it would be best if you didn't join me. Because he's
Okay.
reading.
Yeah. Probably not. He's going to get off.
Are you sure you're all alright with this? If you're opposed, I won't go.
Have we made another bonfire yet?
Like
I
on a
rea-
scale of 1 to 10, how important are we thinking this is? Red asks. Like, is this like, my life is changing, wow! Or is this like, oh, I might find some sweets there?
She actually does smile and she goes, I do not believe it has anything to do with our quest. However, it has been a very long time since I felt this sensation.
Wait,
Are we planning on hunkering down here?
are you going without Rafe? You're just going
I
with
was
him?
planning to go without him.
Should you go alone?
You'll all die if we go through one of the orbs.
We can't fly any longer, and I age.
The only one I would consider would possibly be you, but that comes nowhere near me. She still hasn't forgiven you, it's clear.
I'd rather stay here and keep an eye on
Again, if you all feel strongly against my separating, I won't go.
him. I think you should go. That's
Since
my
when
vote.
do you question yourself so much?
It's not me questioning.
Is this something you'd easily forget about if we moved on?
Of course not. I wouldn't bring it up otherwise. But it does not pertain to our mission. And the mission does come first, thus I give you all the option.
You're going to see that Hero has apparently said something to Aurega. Aurega's going to turn down towards him and say, it's been a long time since I've been with such companions that cared. Hero's going to kind of smile at him.
I think you should go.
Could you maybe not go with you?
Clearly it hurts her if we go through one of them.
She can see him.
I'm not sure that shards affect Juniper very much. I think that she and Clover are potentially not immune to them.
Just tell me anything that happened to you, that's not anything.
I would know. Zarfin says.
She nods.
Well, pitter patter, June. The night is young, and the sooner you get back to us, the sooner we can stop worrying about you.
Good luck.
She smiles at you and says, it seems I would take your advice then.
As you travel off, and Isaac watches Clover gallop through the sky away from the area. Good master, now that she's out of sight, we can go explore these fortresses.
Oh dear.
Kongor, under any other circumstances, I would raid each and every one of those ruins by your side, but tonight, I think we have to stay here. Perhaps in the morning.
Perhaps.
And then Isaac's going to turn around into the group. He says, sleep lightly. If I see any of those shards approaching, I'll be kicking you to wake up and move.
Hero's gonna look at your hooves.
Ouch.
Nice.
June,
Yes.
you ride on Clover, galloping through the breeze like it was ever so very long ago when you were exploring the continent, when it was new and fresh. Obviously, your surroundings are quite a bit different, but it feels interesting to be back on the trail again with some grand design behind your journey. As you move across, you can see people scuttling like rats down through the ruins, far away from your companions. You see the lights on the fortresses, some green and menacing, some red and hellish. You see what is surely dark magic reflecting on the walls down below and broken stone catacombs and great beasts lumbering, almost invisible in the darkness.
While we fly, in order to keep us from sight, it's dark right now, right? She asks him to go invisible, and she turns into her fairy self, and then she gets very dark.
When you land in a great wide open field, you look around, the feeling is right here, like a hand on your throat.
Like a ominous hand on my throat, or
More like a choking up kind of feeling.
like choking up emotionally, or choking up I'm going to
There is
choke and
something
die.
intimate
Okay.
to the situation that you recognize. I apologize.
Okay. Sorry, I'm a little suspicious right now, if you couldn't tell.
When your eyes scan the horizon, there's something ever so vaguely familiar about it. Like you've been here before.
She quickly begins scanning her memories. She goes early.
You take a couple of steps on the grass. You have an image, a memory, perhaps long ago, of stepping on forest, a great meadow that was here. Large trees rose up, primeval in their time. And you were a little girl. You reach up, both your young self and you now, and you grab onto a little invisible rope that leads to a tiny little hideout in the air.
Oh, wow. Yeah, June is shell-shocked as she follows it up.
You thought they'd closed it forever. You thought it was gone. But as you...
She's trying super hard not to hope right now.
When you lift what is like the opening hatch to a treehouse and peek up into an attic-like room that you haven't seen for eons, the hiding place of the Wishmasters. It is still here, and though their things are gone, there is something about this room that is drawing you to it, even now. Your head peeks up, and your eyes scan the room. It's like you've entered an entirely different world. A cozy, small world with creaking boards.
Not gonna lie, June does tear up slightly as she comes in.
As you enter, you stand now much larger than you were, looking at the place where you got your powers. As you move towards the middle of the room, you are suddenly going to see 4 illusions, or holograms, or visions.
June will freeze and gasp.
They're not real, but it is them, the Wishmasters.
The only place she's seen them has been in her memories for years, so.
Snow, cloud, rain. You're going to tell me wind.
No. Snow, cloud, rain, and mist.
Mist.
Sorry.
Yes, mist. You see their elven-like features. A little too perfect. Back when you first met them, they were the only creatures that looked like them besides you. Humanoid. But now you see distinctive. There's little tiny signs that make them not an elf, not a human, not a dwarf, not a halfling. Like a mix of them, almost. As they look towards you. We, Snow says, hoped you would come back. One day. things were clear. I know that your wish will cause you trouble. But we want you to know we're so glad you made it. It's rare. We are rare. And I'm sure that, like us, you felt alone at times. Rain speaks. But you must remember that you're not alone. We are with you. And we have a gift for you. Mist, we've not done this in a very, very long time. And though we don't know when you've returned, we're guessing that the amount of time that you've been since you've seen us is dwarfed compared to the amount of time that it has been since we have last named anybody. Snow speaks. You are Wishmaster now, Juniper. And as such, you deserve our names. They're going to look around at each other. Your name is Sky. We're sorry we can't leave more than that. But we will always be your friend. And we hope that you can make new ones as well. The vision fades. You gain 10 wish points.
Damn. Worth the trip.
The power that they have left behind floods into you suddenly, empowering you with wish. All that they have left. And you are standing on the grass again. The entirety of their hideout has gone into you.
Can I make it again?
You could always make a hideout like that.
Well, theirs.
Oh, like recast it? It costs 10 wish points.
Oh, gotcha.
Very funny.
June will sink to her tiny little knees in the very tall grass, I guess, and she will weep.
And that is where we shall end this session, Noble Heroes. Thank you for coming to join us. Please give us a like and a subscribe. And do try this at home.